Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with my beautiful wife, Karina from Venezuela. Beautiful Venezuela. This is your K1 visa channel. This is your green card channel. This is the place to go to get all this free advice on how to process a K1 visa or a green card or a tourist visa or a spousal visa for free. We do it for free. And it's a happy Saturday. It's May 11th, 2024, 6 p.m. Central Time, U.S. time, which means it's 7 p.m. in Miami and it's 5 p.m. in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and 4 p.m. in California, Los Angeles. I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you any legal advice. I don't work for the government. I don't work for USCIS. I just have 9 years experience in putting together K1 visas and green card applications. I can do it in my sleep. And Karina is waiting for her green card. She got her work permit approved on the 7th of May. So that was what? Since what, 3 or 4 days ago. And we're still waiting for them to mail it to her. So we'll tell you how long it takes for USCIS to mail Karina her work permit, which she got approved on the May 7th of 2024. Today's May 11th, 2024. 7, so that's 8, 9, 10, 11. We're on day 4 waiting for them to mail it, her work permit. We hope everybody's doing well out there, and we hope that you're not stressing the process. We hope you are relaxed and taking it easy and making sure that if you haven't, make sure you qualify for the benefit before you file your K1 visa application. Make sure you don't make any mistakes on the paperwork. And you don't need an immigration attorney to do this process. People are hiring immigration attorneys and getting their cases sent back from the NBC because of errors. USCIS was requesting RFEs because of errors, because the immigration attorney doesn't know what he or she is doing or is rushing the process for the client. They got the money. Now they're rushing the process for the client and they're making stupid mistakes. I'm not saying that applies to all immigration attorneys. There's a lot of good ones out there who do a fantastic job. But there's a few who are doing a horrible job, and it's hurting you, Mr. K1 visa applicant. It's hurting you, and it's not good. Typing the date of birth incorrectly of the sponsor, typing the passport number, transposing numbers, and USCIS catches these mistakes and sends it back to the client. And then the client, they send the error to the immigration attorney. So if you don't need an immigration attorney to do this, okay? You really don't. As long as you know how to read and write, and as long as you are patient and you're calm and you know how to process paperwork in a very simple way, you can do this without an immigration attorney. Karina has been waiting for her green card to get adjudicated. I check the status probably once a month. And today the status said, we don't need anything. We're good. We're just processing the green card application. We're good. We don't need anything. If we need anything, we'll let you know. Francois Livingston, she's the first on the chat. Good evening, Diego and Karina. Now, Francois, we're glad to see you. We know you're still waiting patiently for your NOA2 letter after you submitted and fixed the RFE, which you did a good job. You did a very good job at fixing that. So you're waiting and waiting and waiting for your NOA2 letter. What's happening? Well, let's see. I got restocked in Mountain Dew, thanks to you guys. We didn't do a whole bunch today. I pulled some pictures off the wall and then fixed it with some sparkle and then repainted over the holes. Just making some repairs, stupid stuff like that. Staying busy. Today's Saturday, so it's been a pretty uneventful day so far. And Francois Livingston, yep, I said it right. Waiting and waiting and lots more waiting. That's the worst part out of this whole process. The worst part of a K1 visa application or a green card application or a spousal visa application is the waiting part. You know, immigration have put in place a process that makes it very difficult to get this done very quickly. There's no such thing as a rapid visa. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing as a fast visa. Okay? It doesn't. It takes time. But the NOA1 to NOA2 is taking 6-7 months now. So from the NOA1 letter, now NOA stands for Notice of Action letter, NOA. From the NOA1 to the NOA2 letter, it's taking 6-7 months. The slow part now is waiting for the embassy to get on busy, which then puts the National Visa Center in a bind, because the National Visa Center, when they get your approved K-1 visa package from the service center, they will go through it and check it again. If they find any mistakes, they will send the package back to the USCIS. If they don't find any mistakes, they will call the embassy and say, "Hey, you guys busy? We got a K-1 visa approval here for the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia, or Mumbai, India, the consulate in Mumbai, India, or Manila, Philippines, or wherever it is, wherever you live, London, England. Can we send you the K-1 visa package?" And the NVC is asking that question of the embassy. Now, if the embassy says, "No, we're busy this month, hold off right now, wait a couple of weeks," what happens? You don't get your case number, you don't get your invoice number, and you don't hear nothing. You don't get your welcome letter, and you get frustrated because you're, "Well, where's my welcome letter? Where's my K-1 FDP welcome letter from the National Visa Center?" USCIS sent it. I checked the status. It said it went to NVC. Well, the NVC can't send you a case number because the embassy won't accept the case because they're busy. So it's going to sit on a shelf and collect dust until the embassy gets freed up. And then when the embassy gets freed up, the National Visa Center will mail your package via DHL courier to the embassy. The embassy will get it. You will get an in-transit status, and then about 2 or 3 weeks later, you'll get a ready status. And then what you're going to do is wait for the K-1 FTP. You got the K-1 FTP welcome letter. You're going to wait for information from the embassy so you can start paying for the visa interview and scheduling your visa. Pay for the visa and pay for the visa interview and get it scheduled. And the biometrics. Now, what happens is you go into a SEAC account, and then the SEAC means Consular Electronic Application Center. That's what the SEAC stands for. It's the State Department's website that they created to help you process your green card or your K-1 visa and your green card in some cases, if you're a spousal. So the SEAC is the Consular Electronic Application Center. It's a State Department ran website, which is encrypted, so you can't hack into it. It's very secure. And then some embassies are using a third party to process the K-1 visa interview process. Okay, that's called a GSS, or a Global Systems Subsidiary, I guess you'd say is what it is. The U.S. Embassy in Bogota, in Bangkok, Thailand, uses a GSS subsidiary. So that's what happens there. Francois Livingston, where's everyone tonight? Well, we're here. You're here. We got some people watching. Maybe they're busy. It's a Saturday. Maybe they got things to do. You know, they're going to go spend time with their family. I don't know. I do the live stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 6 p.m. And then I do a surprise live stream during the week. If I feel like it, if you guys have extra questions, I'll do another live stream. But it's getting close to the middle of May. Another month has gone by just about. The time goes by pretty quick, guys. You know, the time goes by quickly. Soon it's going to be June. And, before you know it, you'll have your, Francois, you'll have your NOA2 letter. Caleb, Hotel, Diego, Quijaces, bro. What am I doing? Well, I'm hanging out with Karina here in the panhandle of Florida. I did the yard yesterday. I cut the grass and did the edging and did all that yesterday. And then a big storm came in and tore up the neighborhood. Thank goodness it didn't touch the house, but it snapped some telephone poles in half. This big storm came through and tore up the neighborhood. So we're grateful we didn't get the house tore up. And then today I just did some piddling around the house, doing some maintenance on the house. And Francois says, Francois, soon I hope, Diego, Yeah, it will, Francois. You're going to get your NOA2 letter. It's going to be this month, okay? This month you're going to get it. Caleb, any no mamas Diego. No? No mamas?
Yes.
I don't understand that. Mesmo aquí, bro. Igual aquí. Lee Kirkula, NOA2, August 23rd, 2023. Still waiting on NVC welcome letter. Any advice on what to do, Diego? This is taking forever. Well, first you're going to get a Mountain Dew salute because you got your NOA2 letter. And it's August 23rd, 2023. Seriously. August 23rd, 2023. So let's say we'll say September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. 9 months you've had your NOA2 letter. Have you been staying in contact with whatever country you're in? I don't even know what country it is. What country is holding your what country is your beneficiary in? It's been 9 months. You got to maintain contact with the National Visa Center at least twice a month. You got to send them an inquiry at least twice a month and check in with the NVC and say, hey, what's going on with my case? Monrovia, Liberia, okay? You should have heard something after at least 4 months. At least 4 months. You've been waiting 9 months for the embassy in Liberia to allow the NVC to send your K1 visa package there. Caleb. Monrovia, Liberia. You should have heard something by now. You need to be sending inquiries to the NVC asking them what's going on with my case, like twice a month. If you don't, after a year, they'll close out your visa and they'll consider it abandoned. Make sure you stay in touch, number one, with Lee. Make sure you send an email to the NVC today and check in with them and ask them what's going on with your case in Monrovia. What's the status? 9 months is way too long. Caleb, I saw yesterday our case status was updated to ready, but I haven't received an email from the embassy. I got the K1 FTP email last Monday. Okay, the K1 FTP email is the welcome letter. So what you got to do, let me see here. Email the embassy and check in with the embassy. Caleb, you saw yesterday your case was updated to ready. So the embassy takes about 2 or 3 weeks to get processed for you, okay? So send an email to the embassy, check in with them, maintain contact with them. Got to do that. Shiku, hi Diego, my visa was approved with my daughter, but I have a 221G because the stupid doctor didn't send my medical on time. I did the medical early. Now my case keeps saying refused. They kept my passport. Shiku, your K1 and your K2 visa got approved. Like I said it would if you listened to me. You followed all my directions perfectly. And now you have a K1 and a K2 visa approved. And your daughter also. Now you were scared because you didn't think your daughter was going to get her K2 visa. But I told you how to fix that and you fixed it, right? So everything's good. It's normal sometimes for a 221G over a medical exam being late, okay? It happens sometimes. They took your passport, that means, and they took your daughter's passport, so you're good to go. All you're doing now is waiting for the medical exam to reach the embassy, okay? So you're good. And I'm sorry about the medical exam being slow like that, but it happens sometimes. It happens. They didn't send my medical exam on time. I did the medical early. Now my case kept saying refused. Your case isn't refused, okay? It's in the holding pattern, that's all. They're just holding it for you until they get the medical exam. What you need to do is contact the doctor and tell him that the U.S. Embassy has your passport and your daughter's passport, but they won't give you the passport until they receive the medical exam. So you, Mr. Doctor, are holding up my progress. Contact the doctor and get him to do his job that you paid him to do and get the medical exam to the embassy, okay? You got it? Congratulations, Shiku, by the way. You get a Mountain Dew salute for you and your daughter. Okay, I know you were stressing it. You didn't think your daughter was going to get approved for her K2. So I gave you the directions, and your daughter made it into the interview in the interview list, just like you said. Guys, when I tell you stuff, guys, I mean, I know how to do this in my sleep. Okay, I can go to sleep and take a nap and write a K1 visa package. Congratulations, Shiku, to your daughter and to you for your K1, K2 approval. Now you just got to wait on the medical exam. Call the doctor and get on his case. Kenneth Ordinaka. Hi, Diego. My name is Kenneth, Denise Jefferson's fiance. Well, you get a Mountain Dew salute, Kenneth. Congratulations on making it to the United States of America. You're in Utah, right? I want to thank you for your support so far. No problem. We're here for you. We recently applied for our green card and we are waiting. Please help encourage my fiance. I love her. She's not your fiance, Kenneth. She's your wife, man. The fiance is out the window now. Now she's your wife, okay? And she's doing a great job. She has been very strong in helping you get to America. Now you're here. You got married. Now all you got to do is just wait for your green card. Okay? That's it. And Kenneth, congratulations on becoming married and getting married in Utah. How do you like Utah? How's the weather? How do you like living in Utah? Shiku, don't worry, Shiku. Relax, you're good. You're just waiting on the medical, that's all. You're good. Shiku, thank you very much, Diego. My daughter was already. Thank you, Diego. My daughter was already in the interview, like you said. Thank you so much. The bottom line is, I promised you, Shiku, that I would help you get your 11-year-old daughter to the United States of America and not leave her behind in Nigeria, right? Right? Or Sierra Leone. I think it was Sierra Leone, right? Now your dreams come true. Now we're just waiting on the medical part, and it won't take long. But you give the doctor a call. Give him a call and say, hey, can you help me out here? I need my medical exam sent to the embassy, please, because they took my passport, my daughter's passport. We can't fly to America without this medical exam. All right? Kenneth Ordinaka, Diego, I will give anything to make her happy. She's nothing short of amazing. Please say something nice to encourage her. She is listening. Thank you. Sorry, my wife. No. Denise Jefferson, okay, worked her tail off. She put together a fantastic K1 visa application for you, Kenneth, and she did everything she could to make you feel comfortable and help you stay relaxed during the process. And Denise Jefferson, along with Francois Livingston, are the #1 supporters of this channel. Okay, Denise supports this channel like you wouldn't believe, and we appreciate that. I never run out of Mountain Dew because of Denise and Francois. And Karina gets to eat the big breakfast at Hardee's every Sunday, thanks to you guys. And but Denise helped you a lot, Kenneth. Okay, now you just got to calm down while you're driving. Remember, in whatever country where you were driving before is a little different from driving in America. Now, I drove in Sicily, Italy for 3 years, and I had to drive like an Italian to stay alive. All right. When I was transferred back to the United States from Sicily, Italy, in the United States Navy, I had to calm myself down back on the highways, because in America you cannot run through red lights. Well, you can, but you'll probably get killed or get a ticket. Let me see. Shiku, you're right. You get it right, Diego. I'm never wrong, guys. I'm wrong. Have I ever been wrong? My daughter was approved. I promised you. I said, if you listen to me, if you do what I say, your daughter's going to be in America with you, right? And you did it. And now you did all the work. I just gave you the path. When I went to the interview, her name was already added because I paid the visa fee and the DS-160. Thank you very much, Diego. You're good. This channel has saved you, right? The channel, this is your YouTube channel. It's for you guys. And now you're going to be in America with your daughter. That's good news. Frank Terrence, hola Diego Carina. What's going on, Frank? NOA1 dated April 29th of, so I'm going to say what, 2024, am I assuming? When should I expect the NOA2? So I am going to, Frank, I am going to assume that your NOA1 letter is April 29th, 2024, right? Okay. So let's see. May, June. So let's say May, June, July, August, September, October. I'll say November. By November of this year, you should get your NOA2 letter. Kenneth, Utah is a very beautiful place. I am just struggling with the food. What do you mean you're struggling with the food? Place is amazing. People are very nice and hospitable. Well, I'm struggling with the price of McDonald's. I like McDonald's Big Macs and the breakfast they make. But the price of a Big Mac and a large order of fries is insane in McDonald's. When I used to go eat, when I was in the Navy, I'd stop by go get my Big Mac at McDonald's wherever I was stationed in America. It would cost me $3 and $4 for a Big Mac and a medium fries. Now I got to take out a second mortgage on my house just to buy a freaking Big Mac. The price is insane. So guess what? I don't eat at McDonald's anymore. I am not going to pay $10 for a $2 hamburger because McDonald's now has to pay people $20 an hour to clean a greasy grill. That's their problem. I'm not going to do it. So I don't eat at McDonald's anymore. But Hardee's has a big breakfast platter for like $5 or something like that. And it's great. So we go there. Let's see here. So I'm sorry you don't like the food in America, Kenneth, but I bet you can find some good food somewhere. Shiku, the doctor said she has just sent my medical. Just sent it? Why did she take so long? So you get a Mountain Dew salute, Shiku, for that, okay? I went straight to the doctor after the interview, gave me my vaccine records, told me my medical was sent. Good. Mountain Dew salute, Shiku. Guess what? You and your daughter will be in America soon, right? And you can relax a little bit. Frank Terrence, my beneficiary is in France. Diego, when do you think she will enter the United States? Well, let's say you get the NOA2 letter in November. So let's say 2 months for the NVC welcome letter. So that's January of 2025, and then 3 months after that, January. So by April of 2025, somewhere around there. And Frank, you're going to fly to France, right? And accompany her back to the United States. The U.S. Embassy is in Paris. Okay, now I know they've got a McDonald's in Paris because I was in Paris in 1991. I went to Paris. I was in the Navy. The ship pulled into Marseille, France. I caught the bullet train to Paris. And I went to Jim Morrison's gravesite. I saw the Arc de Triomphe, Mona Lisa, the Eiffel Tower, and all that. And then I said, let me go have my Big Mac. I went into a McDonald's in Paris in 1991, and they wanted $10 freaking for a Big Mac in Paris in 1991. I couldn't imagine how much it is now. I won't pay $10 for a Big Mac anywhere in Paris or in the United States. So McDonald's Corporation has lost my business. They will no longer see me in there. And I used to eat a lot of McDonald's. I used to spend a lot of money in McDonald's over a period of time, but not anymore. So Frank, your beneficiary is in France. I would say by the spring of next year. Okay. Hitchum, one of my friends can't travel to a country and he wants to sponsor a girl he knows from another country. Can he do it without pics? He can't travel. He is sick. Nope, can't do it. If you can't prove that you've met each other face to face within 2 years with evidence, which is pictures, boarding passes, hotel receipts, dinner dates, it ain't going to happen. So if your friend can't travel to the country where he wants to sponsor his girlfriend, how is he going? How is he dating this girl? How is he dating her if he can't go visit her? Has he ever met her? Doesn't sound he's even met her. He can't travel because he's sick. So he can't travel to a country he wants to sponsor because he's sick. Well, he needs to get well. They're talking over the phone. They met online dating app. Okay, great. But he needs to go visit her and spend about at least a month or two with her and learn and get to know her. You just don't marry somebody you meet on a dating app. It doesn't work that way. Immigration will not approve the visa. He's got to go visit. I made 5 trips to Colombia. We spent 2.5 years together. We dated for over a year before I even mailed in the K1 visa application. Then I went and lived with her, Karina, for almost a year in Bogota. That's how it works. Okay? You don't jump on a dating app and say, okay, I want to marry this girl and file a K1 visa. You never even met. It ain't going to happen. So you need to tell your friend that he needs to either get well and fly and visit with this girlfriend that he hasn't met yet, or date somebody close to home. Okay? They're talking over the phone and they met on online dating apps. They haven't met anywhere. They haven't met each other. They don't know it. They don't know anything about each other. So tell him he needs to get well and fly and meet her at least twice and spend at least a month or 2 with her, 3 months, 4 months. K. Frimpong Manso, is it permissible to attend interview with your petitioner in London, England? No. The U.S. Embassy in London will not allow sponsors to attend the visa interview. Only the beneficiary can go into the visa interview at the U.S. Embassy in London. Okay? So what does that mean? The sponsor can accompany the beneficiary to the interview in London. Make sure you bring an umbrella and some Wellington boots, because it rains every freaking day in London, pretty much. Okay? And you're going to sit on a bench outside the embassy in the rain and the cold, and you're going to wait for the visa interview to get accomplished. And once the visa interview is over with, your beneficiary will come out of the visa interview with her packet of stuff. Make sure you got a waterproof bag or something, because it always freaking rains in England. And then that's it. But you cannot accompany your beneficiary. Sponsors cannot attend the visa interview with the beneficiary in London, England. Why is that? I don't know. You would think the English and the Americans were on pretty good terms, right? So I don't see why it's a problem. Why would there be a problem? But the ambassador at the embassy in London won't allow it. Okay? Frank Terrence, how about the embassy in Paris, Diego? Can I go with my beneficiary? For the U.S. Embassy in Paris, France, you can wait outside also. They won't let you into that at this moment in time. But in a year from now, we're going to have a new president, I'm pretty sure. I got no doubt in my mind we're going to have a new president in January of 2025, okay? And that new president may change the rules, okay? But right now, you can't do it. You can fly to Paris and wait outside the embassy and then accompany your beneficiary back to the United States. I strongly recommend you do that. Shiku, hopefully the embassy received my medical soon. I want to join my fiance in the United States. Diego, Shiku, you're going to be here before you know it. Okay? With your daughter. Okay? You did great. You made it. You left you didn't have a passport for your daughter, and you were panicking and you were worried because you didn't apply for the K2 for your daughter because she didn't have a passport or something, or you had to get a new passport. The updated passport, right? So we fixed everything. I gave you the roadmap. Do this, and this. And you fixed everything. And bam, your daughter got her K1 and her K2 visa. And you got your K1. You're just waiting on the stupid doctor to get her to do her job, which is to send the embassy the medical paperwork. You'll have it soon. Okay, CQ. And then the next thing that we know, you're going to be on an airplane flying to America with your daughter. What an opportunity for her, right? She's only 11 years old. She's going to grow up in America. She'll become American quick. RG Sporting, cheers. You two are great. Well, thanks, RG Sporting. For us, for the U.S. Embassy in Ghana, my beneficiary case is in transit. It's on the way. Okay. confused on the next step. Do I wait for email from the U.S. Embassy in Ghana before doing anything? If it's in transit, you're going to wait for ready status. When you get to ready status, you're going to send an email to the embassy and check in with them. That means communication. That keeps your communication open with the embassy, and that extends your NOA2 letter. Because if you look at your NOA2 letter, on the right side, it says it's good for 4 months, right? Well, it's actually not. It's good until you go to the visa interview. But you got to keep extending the NOA2 letter by maintaining contact with the embassy or with the National Visa Center. That extends the NOA2 letter. I got excited and put in a DS-160 already. Wasn't a mistake. It's only good for a year. You can submit a DS-160 if you want to the embassy in Ghana, in Accra, but it's only good for 12 months from the date of your submission. What you need to do also is make sure that you have printed the confirmation page. Make sure you printed the confirmation page of the DS-160, okay? Got to do that. It's good for 12 months. It wasn't a mistake. It was just early. It's kind of early. You did it a bit early, but it's not a mistake, okay? If it times out, if it takes longer than you think, if it takes longer than a year to get everything wrapped up, then you're going to have to redo it. So, no, you're good, RG Sporting. Good job on getting that done. And Frank, Terrence, go to make sure you accompany your beneficiary back to the United States from Paris, France. You're going to fly out of, what is it? What's the airport in France, in Paris, France? Is it de Gaulle Airport? Is it de Gaulle Airport, I think, or Orly? I can't remember. I've been to France probably about 11 times. I've been to France 11 times, I think. I've been to Normandy, Cherbourg, Le Havre, Marseille, Paris. I've been to the Normandy landings. Charles de Gaulle, that's what it is. I knew it was something. That was the president of France during World War II. He was the president who served with was it Montgomery, the British general, General Montgomery from England, and Eisenhower from the United States. It was Eisenhower, de Gaulle, and Montgomery who liberated France from occupation. And RG Sporting, thank you, sir. You got it. You just submitted the DS-160. It's no problem, but it's only good for 12 months. Okay. So keep an eye on the date and keep an eye on your processing, and maintain contact with the embassy in Accra, Ghana. Send them. They may not reply back to your emails. Okay, you may send them an email. They don't respond back. Don't worry about it. You have maintained contact. Print those emails. That is proof that you are maintaining contact with the embassy. There's somebody emailed me in YouTube. They sent me a message in YouTube and they said, hey, the embassy just closed out my K1 visa account. And they said it was abandoned or something. I said, well, when was the last time you contacted the embassy? He said, it was about like 11 months ago. He said, I forgot about it or something. I said, okay. Well, if you forgot about it, so the embassy isn't going to be babysitting you. Shiku, they asked me 5 questions at my visa interview. It was like 2 minutes, Diego, quick and fast questions. I am happy over 2 years. Yeah, it's a long, long process, Shiku. And you're going to get a Mountain Dew salute, okay? Because you were really, really stressing your daughter. And I'm glad you had found this channel, because an immigration attorney would have charged you thousands of dollars to fix for you what I did for you for free, right? I don't like to see families separated from each other. I don't want to see kids separated from their moms and dads. So I fixed it. And now all you got to do is wait on the doctor to do her part, and then you can get on a plane and fly here. That's what I'm looking forward to. Plus, we're waiting on Karina's work permit. Karina, she got her work permit approved in 46 days. And on May 11th, on May 7th, they said it's approved. I said, okay, great. Now we're just waiting and waiting and waiting, because they're going to mail it to her. And they said in the message, they said, if you don't get it by June 6th, send us a message and we'll figure out where it is. No, I think that Karina should get her work permit probably next week. It takes time to process it. It's biometrics. It's those work permits and green cards are secure documents. They're like credit cards, but they're very secure. You cannot. What's the word I'm thinking of? You can't make them yourself at home. Okay, there's stuff there. There's stuff in those work permits. There's microchips and all kinds of stuff in those work permits and green cards that make it absolutely impossible to fake it. Okay. So Shiku, congratulations to you and your daughter. Soon she'll be growing up in America. Put her in school. She'll get accustomed to school pretty quick. She'll make new friends. She'll get used to American food, and boom! Before you know it, she's going to be wearing a American T-shirts with a baseball cap, playing baseball or softball, and having a great life here in the United States. And you're going to be happily married, and everything's going to work out, Shiku. And it's not easy. 2 years is a long time, but it's worth it, right? It was worth the wait, right? Now you're here. You're right there. You're at the end zone. You're doing the touchdown. Shiku, my fiance, lives in Portland. Okay, so he lives in Portland, Oregon, right? Is that where I'm thinking? In Oregon? That's on the West Coast. That's west of Utah and north of Nevada and California. Oregon's a nice place, but it gets a little rainy. They filmed the movie. What was that? What's a movie they filmed in Oregon? The Goonies. They made the movie The Goonies and they filmed it on the beaches in Oregon near Portland. You got to go there. Go bring your daughter to the beaches on the West Coast in Portland, Oregon. It's near Portland, Oregon, and that's where they filmed the Goonies movie. And I think the house is there too, where they filmed the movie. I think they got a house in Portland where they filmed it. I'm pretty sure. So you got a lot of movie stuff going on there, but the weather gets a little cold in the wintertime, and it rains quite a lot. Okay, but it gets pretty warm and pretty hot in the summer, and there's lots of trees and lots of things to do. And you're close to other states. If you get bored in Portland, Oregon, you can go to other places and go do stuff. You know, go do things in Nevada or in I think you can go if you head east, you can go into Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota. There's plenty to do. You and your daughter and your family will be well occupied, and you'll be forgetting about this nightmare that you went through trying to get your K-1 visa. And I know it was very stressful to you. Okay, I know, but it's over. You're just waiting on the medical now, and the doctor said she sent it, so you're good. Play. We are trying to apply on Tuesday for a green card from K1. The forms. How much? The total? Well, it's $1,440 for a green card application, which includes the biometrics. Okay, so you're applying on Tuesday for the green card. It's $1,440. That does not include, if you want to get a work permit, that's another $260. If you want to get advanced parole, if you want to travel before you get the green card, that's another $630. Okay, so for the green card, it's $1,440. That includes the biometrics. Immigration will schedule you your biometrics. Okay. Now, if you want to get the work permit, that's $260, and if you want to get the advanced parole, that's $630. So it will be $2,330 if you want to get everything. If you want the whole bundle of joy, my recommendation is just pay for the green card and for the biometrics, which is $1,440. You make the check out to U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Do not abbreviate the check. Okay, listen, play. Do not abbreviate the check. I will write here in the comments how to fill out the check for your green card. Okay, this is what you're going to write on the check. Okay, that's what you're going to write on the check. Don't abbreviate it. Write exactly what I just wrote there on the check. You have to write real small, and then you make the check out, and then it's $1,440. Do not use your credit card to pay for your green card. Don't do it. You can use a form. Immigration says you can use this form, a specific form for paying for your green card with a credit card. Your bank may not recognize the charge and will block the transaction. I have seen so many people apply for their green card, try to pay on their credit card, and the bank is blocking the transaction, and it's going to slow down your green card application by maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. You don't want that to happen. So you write a check for $1,440 to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. On the bottom of the check, you're going to put green card application and the person's name on the check. Okay, so you're going to put green card application, and for Karina, I put green card application for Karina. Okay, so that way, if the Homeland Security gets the check mixed up somewhere, they will know what person the check is going, what check is for what. Put the person's name on the check, your beneficiary's name on the check, and also the receipt number from the NOA2 letter, if you want to do that. So that way, immigration will not confuse your check with somebody else's application. Okay, you got it? Man, you learn so much stuff on this channel, right, guys? You're learning a bunch of stuff, and that's why we're here. And Karina is like I said, she's waiting on her green card, which she should probably get it by the end of July, beginning of August. And she's been doing stuff around the house. She fixed the desk. The computer desk has been broken for about 9 years, and Karina fixed it. I mean, dang. I mean, I've been just living with it, and then she fixed it. I mean, it's great. You know, everything's good. It's good to have a partner, right? It's good. It's not fun being by yourself all the time. Now you're getting to be reunited with your loved ones very soon, especially Shiku. She's been waiting 2 years, you know, and her daughter are going to get to live in America. What an opportunity. 11 years old to grow up here. She's going to be American by the time she's 13, just by living here and being so young, you know. And I'm just so happy to hear that good news. So if you got questions, if you want me to teach you how to fill out a green card application, I will help you. If you want me to help you with a K-1 visa application, I'll help you. It's important that, you know, the big thing about immigration is they want to see evidence, and you got to keep saving your evidence. So once you come to America and you get married, you got to keep saving the evidence of you being together for the 10-year green card. I keep repeating myself over that. When you apply, you're going to get a 2-year green card. Okay, it's a probationary. Once you get the 2-year green card, then you got to apply for the 10-year green card, right? So how do you do that? Well, it's basically the same thing. Applying for the green card for the 10-year, you're just going to use a different form, but you still got to provide evidence. But you got to provide evidence of the last 2 years. Are you on a joint bank account? Are you Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Beneficiary? Are you together on the same bank for the last 2 years? Can you prove it? Have you been paying bills together? Water bill, electric bill, gas bill, trash bill for the last 2 years? Can you prove it? Do you have receipts? You got to put it all together for the 10-year green card. And then once you get the 10-year green card, then you got to wait 1 year for a total of 3 years in the country. And then you apply for citizenship if you want to. If you don't want to go through any more paperwork for immigration, if you're sick and tired of paperwork and the stress and all this other stuff that immigration puts on you, become a citizen. Get your U.S. passport, and then you can travel freely back to your country where you used to live growing up without any hassles from the Border Patrol. Okay? Karina and we want to go to Venezuela and visit her family in Venezuela, but I can't go to Venezuela because it's a communist country, and Maduro would probably arrest me, throw me in prison, and use me as a pawn for the U.S. government. But we have an election in July in Venezuela, and hopefully that Maduro guy is put out to pasture, and he retires somewhere to a beach, hopefully in Cuba, and then Venezuela becomes a free country. When Karina becomes a citizen of the United States, we can fly to Venezuela and go see her sister, Elba. Mm-hmm. Elba. ¿En cuál es el nombre de tu amigas? Jasmine, Indira, Isabel, all our friends. Huh? Muchas. Karina's got all these friends in Venezuela we want to go visit. I want to meet them. But I can't right now. And but Karina's not going anywhere until she's an American citizen, right? There you go. That's how it works. Karina's country is America. Okay, this is her country. This is where she's going to put her roots in and bury them deep in the ground. But we're not going to forget Venezuela, and we will go there and visit. Now Karina's got family in Colombia too. Okay, so we'll go to Colombia and visit family there. She got a brother lives in Brazil. I mean, nobody wants to live in Venezuela right now because the place sucks. It's being ran by communists, okay? And nobody wants to live there because Venezuelans are free people. Karina's a conservative capitalist. She's an entrepreneur. She told me, she's like, I'm not living here anymore. This place is a joke. She loves her country, but she ain't gonna live in. She got the heck out of Venezuela and moved to Colombia. And we dated each other in Colombia for years. Denise Jefferson, hello Diego and Karina. You mentioned in your last live stream that it should be one check or they would send a package back. We sent 2 separate checks in the individual packages. That's my thoughts. It's a possibility that they could send it back, Denise, because you gotta pay one check. It's in one check, okay, for everything. You can't separate it. But let's see what happens. Okay, let's just wait. Let's just wait and see what happens. Maybe they'll give you a break. It could be. They could. But I've seen people who on April 2nd, April 3rd, April 4th, they were mailing in their green card applications and they were writing separate checks. And the immigration was sending the packages back because the payment wasn't correct. Okay. And I try to explain to folks, like in April, you got to write one check for everything. So, in my opinion, don't waste your money on the work permit or the advanced parole. Just save your money. But you wanted to get your husband working sooner rather than later. So I know why you did it. And it's a good thing. Okay. But you should have put it in one check. It would have been $1,440 plus $260. It would have been a check for $1,700. And then they only have to cash the one check and everything gets done on one check. But let's just wait and see what happens. Okay. And I wish you guys had asked me before you sent out your green card application my opinion on that, and I would have told you to put it in one check. But don't worry, let's see what happens. That's all you can do now, right? If they send it back, all you got to do is just redo the check and resend it. Okay. So let's see what happens. But your husband was on the channel just a minute ago. And he was, chatting to us also. So it was good to chat with him. He said he likes Utah, but the food is kind of, he's trying to get used to the food. I guess American food, he's used to a different kind of a style of food. I don't know. Karina, she likes arepas and Latino food. Well, we got Latino restaurants and Latino stores down the street. She goes and gets her Latino food, right? It's right close. So she can make her Venezuelan arepas and her Colombian tacos, right? Mexican tacos. It's Mexican. Mm-hmm. So there's not Colombians don't make tacos. Mexicans make tacos and Venezuelans make arepas. So, hopefully he gets to like the food and tell him not to drive carefully in the United States. It's a different way. You got to follow the rules here. There's a place in the panhandle of Florida. There's a city called Gulf Breeze. If you go 1 mile over the freaking speed limit in Gulf Breeze, the Gulf Breeze police will write you a ticket. I mean, they're vicious down there. I mean, they're strong. They're strict. I shouldn't say they're vicious. They're strict. Okay. I mean, I can go 5 or 10 miles over the speed limit on a 45 mile an hour interstate road. They usually leave me alone if I do 50, 52 in a 45 speed limit. But in Gulf Breeze, if you go a 36 and a 35, they're going to get blue lights on you. Why are you speeding? What was it? What do you mean? Why am I speeding? Well, you were speeding. You know, I remember when I was in New Mexico. I was living in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I was in Grants, New Mexico. I was driving from Albuquerque to Gallup, New Mexico. I wanted to go see Gallup, New Mexico. I wanted to go see Red Rock State Park and Church Rock. I think it's Church Rock. And I'm on Interstate 40 going 75, and the speed limit was 70. And a freaking state trooper puts his lights on me and pulls me over. And he says, "You were going 80 in a 70. I said, "No, I wasn't. I was going 75 in an 80. I said, "You're wrong." And then he said, "Well, you got Florida tags." Obviously I had my Florida tags on my Azusa rodeo. I'm a resident of Florida. So I kept my Florida tags, and I was living in New Mexico with my Florida tags. As a military member, I can do it. So he pulls me over. He says, "You got Florida tags. Where do you live in Florida?" I said, "I don't live in Florida. I live about 45 minutes down the road here on I-40 in Albuquerque." He goes, "Oh, you live in Albuquerque. Why do you have Florida tags?" I said, "Dude, I'm in the freaking military. I'm here on military assignment, and I'm keeping my Florida driver's license and my Florida tags." So he thought I was probably a drug mule hauling something across state lines because I had Florida tags. That's why he pulled me over and said I was going 75 and a 70. And you know how? And then when he figured he was being stupid, he was being an idiot. Okay. He said, "Oh, I see you got mountain tires on your SUV." I said, "Yeah, I live in the mountains." He says, "Okay, that's why the speedometer was off on your Isuzu. It was off by 5 miles an hour because you got mountain tires, and it threw off the speed on your odometer." I said, "Yeah, there you go. That's what it was, Mr. State Trooper. And you're going to let me go now, or am I going to have to call your boss?" "Oh, no, don't call my boss. You're good. Have a nice day, Senior Chief." What can I say? Denise Jefferson, "So Diego, are you suggesting that there is never a time when we would have to ask for a 765 later? Heard that you have to have a 485 pending to get the reduced price for the other." Okay. When you file for your green card, that's when you should file for the work permit and for the advanced parole. You put them all together in the one packet, and you write one check for the full amount. If you file for the green card, okay, and then decide a week later, "Oh, I want to get a work permit," you can file for the work permit a week later, but you're going to pay the full price, which is over $400. But if you apply for the work permit with your green card application, you pay $260. So it's a reduced price if you apply with the green card. Immigration doesn't care if you got a green card pending. If you don't include it in your green card application, if you apply later, you're going to pay the full price. Okay? So here's my advice. Right now, as of April 1st, 2024, the immigration jacked up the prices of green cards, K-1 visas. Now you got to pay for the work permit. You got to pay for advanced parole. My advice is this: just apply for the green card and for the biometrics, and that's it. And then just wait, hang out, and just wait for your green card. It's going to take 4 or 5 months, okay? Just wait, and then that way you don't get any mistakes on your green card application. You know exactly how much the fee is, and it just makes the process run a lot smoother, okay? If you're going to get your green card in 4 months, and you're going to get a work permit in 2 months, why can't you just wait the 4 months for the green card and just wait it out? That's what Karina's doing. She's going to get her work permit probably next week, I figure, okay? But the only reason we applied for the work permit was because we want to adjust her status to legal permanent resident with the Social Security Administration, so she can get her married name on her Social Security card. That's the only reason we applied for a work permit. That's it. But if Karina wants to go to work, she says she wants to go to work, she can do it. Not a problem. You stay busy, okay? The secret to this K-1 visa process and the secret to this green card application process is to stay busy. Karina stays busy every day. She finds stuff to do in the house. She's doing stuff every day. She's doing the live stream. This is work, right? This is work. She's doing the live stream. And she keeps, she's the administrator of the channel. She keeps everything. She keeps me up to date. People send me messages. Karina will tell me, you got a message, you got to respond to it. And she's the administrator. So she's staying busy. But when she gets her green card, Karina wants to start a business and become a capitalist entrepreneur. Kinzer Zane, hey, just wondering, the financial sponsor doesn't want to sponsor. Hey, just wondering, the financial sponsor doesn't want to sponsor. He sponsored my husband K1. Now we're applying for the green card. I don't understand the question. What's the question? Let me try to decipher Kinzer Zane question here. The sponsor of the K1 visa now doesn't want to help you for the green card. Is that what you're telling me? He sponsored you for the K1 at the embassy, and now he doesn't want to sponsor you for the green card. IDK, what does that mean? I don't know. I don't understand. Rephrase the question. Yes, sorry. Tell me again. Okay, so let me decipher what you're telling me. You're saying that they sponsored you for the K1, and he doesn't want to sponsor you for the green card. Is that what you're telling me? Yes or no? Is that let me try to figure this out. Is that what you're saying? Kinzer Zane, I'm trying to help you. Okay. So if he won't sponsor you for the green card, you got to find a sponsor for the green card. Why won't he help you? He helped you for the K1. Just say, hey, help me for the green card. Just continue the process. It's like no big deal, right? It's no big deal. If he won't sponsor you, you got to find somebody else. If your income is just a little bit not quite there, which is okay. Yes, Americans right now are struggling all over the United States. There's been an argument. Well, then you need to be a politician and fix the argument. De-argue the argument. Okay? Take the sponsor out to lunch and fix it so you can continue the process. There's an argument about the green card application. What do you mean? How can there be an argument about it? It's easy paperwork. All he has to fill out is an 864. Just like for the K1, when he sponsored you for the K1, he filled out the Declaration of Financial Support. Now he's just going to fill out the I-864, the Affidavit of Support. It's not difficult. I make only $27,900. Will that be enough for a family of two? How big's your family, Kinzer Zane? What's your family size? How big's your family? Is it 2, 3, 4? I don't know how big your family is. But just for me and my husband, 2 people, a family 2, you got to make $25,550. You make $27,900. Okay, so $27,900, right? Minus $25,550. So you make $2,350 above the minimum income requirements. You should be okay. You should be all right. You make over $2,000 above the minimum income. I want to see at least $4,000 or $5,000 above the minimum income. Okay, but I don't see it being a problem. You qualify. You only qualify by just a tad over $2,000, but that's qualifying. It's not like you're right on the border. It's not like you're $1,000 over. You're close to $3,000 over the minimum. I don't think you need a joint sponsor. I think you'll be all right. But I would make friends and make amends with that person and include him as a joint sponsor just to cover you. So just in case you get a hardcore immigration officer who wants to see more income. So make friends with the person. Okay. Don't be in an argument. Tell him sorry or whatever it is. Just be sorry, whatever happened, make it up and have him redo make him fill out the 864 and include it. But I think you'll be okay because you're $2,350 above the minimum. But it's close. Okay? Caleb, I've seen on the embassy website is to bring the I-864 affidavit of support. It doesn't mention the I-134 anywhere, Diego. That applies for a person who is in a spousal visa. If you're in a spousal visa and you're going to an embassy interview as a spouse, you bring the I-864. If you are in a K-1 visa, that is a non-immigrant status, you bring the I-134. You don't bring an I-864 to a K-1 visa interview. You bring it to a spousal visa interview. Caleb, what country? What country? You got to remind me again. Please remind me what country you're talking about. Kansas Zane. Okay, we live with my sister, husband, but we lived there for a month. Okay, now we have our own apartment. Okay, that's all well and good, but that's got nothing to do with your income and qualifying for the green card. You qualify for the green card by $2,350. But I would say get a joint sponsor, be nice to that person, could, do something for that, take him out to lunch or something and ask him, please, just help me out here. We need your help. Don't be arguing with your joint sponsor. That's not a good thing. Okay. But good job on getting your own apartment. Congratulations. Now you're independent. Caleb, that's why I cook my own food. Just got finished making more enchiladas. Okay, Caleb, that's a Mountain Dew salute. If you're making your own food, you're getting a Mountain Dew salute because it's Mexican food, right? Karina said that's Mexican. She said it's Mexican and it tastes good, right? Muy rico. So you're going to make enchiladas for me?
Enchilada. Oh, no, yo no entiendo preparación.
Oh, so Karina said she won't make me enchiladas because she doesn't know how to make them. So we'll go to the Mexican restaurant and get them. We got like 3 Mexican restaurants close by, okay? And one of them's open, 2 of them closed on Sundays, and 1 is open on Sunday. So when the Mexican restaurants we like to go to are closed on Sunday, we go to the other Mexican restaurant because they're open on Sunday. So anyway, K. Frimpong Manso, can you apply for a K-1 after 4 months of divorce? Sure, absolutely. You write a letter of explanation and say it took me for a long time. It took me over a year to get an appointment for my divorce, and I finally got it. So that's the reason why I'm applying for my K-1 visa 4 months after the judge signed on my final divorce decree. You write a letter. Dear USCIS, dear immigration, it took a long time for me to get an appointment to finalize my divorce. I finally got it. I wasn't going to sit around and wait for the judge to finalize my divorce. I found a new person and I dated that person during the time I was waiting for the judge to finalize my divorce. And then they finally finalized it. And there you go. There's an explanation. Kansas saying, my husband got his social security card and ID. Good. That's good. But you got to make friends with the sponsor. The joint sponsor needs to get back. You got to get back in touch and get back reconnected and have that joint sponsor fill out the I-864 for you guys. Okay. You got to do that. It's important. Make friends. Don't be having stupid arguments. It's not worth it. It's your life is in there. It's in your hands right here. Okay. Once you get the 2-year green card, then you're good to go. Then you just got to do good for the 10-year green card. Frank Terrence. So Diego, when I get the NOA2 letter, what's the next step? When does my beneficiary do the medical exam? Okay, you get the NOA2 letter. Then you're going to wait for the in-transit letter, which means that the National Visa Center has mailed your K-1 visa package to the embassy in Paris. The embassy in Paris will receive the approved K-1 visa package, and then they will send you a ready status. Then you send the embassy in Paris an email and say, hey, I'm just checking in. This is so-and-so. I'm checking in on for my beneficiary. This is the receipt number from the NOA2 letter. This is her passport number. This is her full name and date of birth. What do I do? The embassy in Paris, the U.S. Embassy in Paris will send you an email giving you directions on how to process the K-1 visa interview. and pay the visa fee of $265. So don't stress it, Frank. First, you got to wait for the embassy in Paris to contact you. Harold A., MVC welcome letter is taking forever. Yes, the embassy in Bogota is busy. Francois Livingston, our joint sponsors in a K1 visa like a co-sponsor on a bank loan. Yeah, same thing. Are they responsible for the beneficiary? Yes, they are. I don't need one, but I'm trying to understand why some hesitate to help a petitioner. The joint sponsor is fully responsible for the beneficiary, okay, for 10 years or until the person becomes a U.S. citizen or gets 10 years worth of Social Security work credits or goes back to his or her home country. Okay, so if you're a joint sponsor, that's the responsibilities are. Brielle Alvarez, hello Diego, hola Diego and Karina, happy Mother's Day. Buenos dias, Madre Di, for tomorrow.
Gracias.
In advance, Karina, para ti. Congratulations on your trabajo de tarjeta aprobado. When did you have your biometrics appointment? Well, let's see. ¿Cuándo día biométrica en New Orleans? It was in March 22nd, right? She had her biometrics on March 22nd. Chico, after refused, what happens, Diego? Well, you're not refused. You're just in a hold right now. So what happens is when the embassy receives the medical exam, okay, from the doctor who's being a slacker, your status will change to approved. And then it's going to change to issued. When it goes to issued, you want to go down. That's when you go to the embassy or wherever it is you go and pick up your passports. And then you get on a plane and fly to America. Okay? Refused just means on hold. It's a harsh word. It just means it's on hold, okay? When the embassy receives the medical exam from the doctor, you're going to get a approved status, then you're going to get an issued status, and then you're going to go pick up your passports. And then you're going to go to the airport and get out of wherever get on a plane and come here. Chris and Emil, you cannot have any other medical surgeries before your medical interview. It will interfere with your test. You're right. That's correct. K.E. Frimpong Manso, is the work of the National Visa Center different from the work of the embassy in beneficiary home country? Yeah. Let me go over it with you guys. You get a K1 visa package and you mail it to Louisville, Texas. That's the clearinghouse. They make sure you filled out the check properly. They make sure you signed the I-129F. They make sure you dated it. They make sure you didn't forget anything. You didn't forget to include your passport picture proving U.S. citizenship. You didn't forget this. You didn't forget that. Once it makes it through Louisville, they send it to the service center, either in California, Texas, Nebraska, okay? Mainly California. USCIS in California get it. 6 months later, they review it. They adjudicate it, they approve it. USCIS will then send the approved K1 visa package to the National Visa Center in New Hampshire. The National Visa Center in New Hampshire will get it. They will do a background check, okay, on the sponsor, like on me. They do an FBI check. Then that comes back good. They will then forward the K1 visa package to the embassy. The embassy will get it. They'll issue you a ready status. At the ready status, you start waiting. You wait for the email with the instructions on how to pay for the visa fee and schedule the appointment. K1 visa is easy. Spousal visa is a little more complicated and has a lot more involved, okay? But the K1 is just as I explained it. Boom, it's that easy. But it takes time. You got to be patient. So the question is from Kaye, is the work of the MVC different from the embassy? Yeah. The National Visa Center, all they do is assign case numbers, okay? And they ship the documents. They do not approve visas at the MVC. They don't disapprove, they don't approve, they don't block. If there's a problem with the K1 visa at the MVC, they send it back to USCIS. If there's no problems with the K1 visa, they send it to the embassy with an issue with a case number. The embassy can deny a visa. USCIS can deny a visa. Either one of those two places. but the embassy do not touch. They do not have the authority to do that. Denise Jefferson, Diego, if they send the package back, is that a denial or a rejection? It's a rejection because of incorrect payment. It's not a denial. It just means you got to fix the check. Will they send the entire package back? Yes, they will. If they open the 485 first, they really don't know about the other. So what you did was, so tell me, this is what you did then. You sent in two packages, one for the work permit and one for the green card application, in two separate packages in two separate FedEx letters. Is that what happened? Denise, is that what you did? You filed for the green card. This FedEx truck took that. You filed for the work permit. This FedEx truck took that. So there's no way to know. Immigration's not going to know that you filed for a green card if you didn't include it with the green card application. They're not going to know. So they're going to get an application for a work permit with an incorrect fee. Because if you file for it, no, one big package. Okay, I got you. Okay. Well, what's going to happen is that they're going to want to see one check. Okay, that's what they want to see, one check. What will they acknowledge the receipt of the package first for all three via G1145 and send it back? Yeah, they'll acknowledge they received it. Yeah, they'll let you know. But you know, it depends on the immigration officer. But I got a feeling it's going to come back to you if you didn't write the full amount. We'll see what happens. That's all you can do right now. Marcus Rocha. Hi, it's been 100 days since we did the biometrics for a change of status, K1. Do you think it will be much longer to get the green card? So it's been 3 months, another month. Give it another month and a half. Denise, I got you. You're good, Denise. If you send it all in one package, let the immigration officer is going to decide on how he wants to handle it. Okay? Remember, immigration is working under new procedures. As of April 1st, it was a new procedure. It used to be free. The work permit in the past used to be free. Now you got to pay for it. So maybe they cut you a break and say, well, you know, she didn't know the process and it's a new process. Maybe they'll give you a break. But we'll see. All we can do is wait and see what happens, okay? Kaye, which office sends the welcome letter? The National Visa Center. Kansas Zane, my husband K1 visa will expire in June. Will it be late to send him the application by next week? Your K1 visa doesn't expire. It's irrelevant. If you got married within 90 days, Kansas Zane, you got married. I'm using my 40-year-old calculator, right? You got married within 90 days, right? Right? You're in status. It's irrelevant when the I-94 expires. You can apply for your green card 4 months if you want after you got married. Once you get married, that 90-day window of time is the amount of time you have to get married in America. It's not the amount of time you have left to stay in America, but it is if you don't get married. You can come to America for 90 days, don't get married, and then you decide you don't want to get married to each other. You got 90 days to go back home. You got a 3-month vacation in America. If you get married within 90 days, the I-94 is irrelevant. The 90-day window of time goes away. You're in status. What you're doing now is you're putting your green card package together. If it takes 4 months, it takes 4 months. You're still in status. So Kinza Zane, chill out. You don't have to submit the green card application next week. Take your time and do it right. Edward Tubman Jr. Hi, Diego. After refused, what next from Liberia? Well, what do you mean after refused? What happened? I need more information. After refused. What was refused? Marcos, we got approved for advanced travel. Why? Can we trust it? No. Don't do it. Or should we just wait for the green card? Just wait for the green card. Don't travel on advanced parole documents. Don't do it. Immigrate, Border Patrol, they don't like them. USCIS will issue you one every day now. They get $630 for an advanced parole document. Now you got to pay for it. but don't use it. Don't go back to the. Why did you wait a year and a half to get your K1 visa and come to America just to turn around and go back to the country that you came from? You miss mama, you miss grandpa that bad? Seriously. It's like, why come to America if you got to turn around and go back to the country you came from after you just get married? I mean, come on, guys. Don't use the advanced parole. You can be blocked at the immigration checkpoint by the Border Patrol. Don't leave the country for a honeymoon. Do not leave the country for a honeymoon. I understand, Marcus, you want to go on a honeymoon. Have your honeymoon in the United States of America. Don't leave the country. Don't do it. Karina and I, we're gonna go on our honeymoon to Las Vegas. Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm going to rent a car or an SUV. I'll rent an SUV. I don't need a car in Las Vegas. In Nevada, I need a freaking SUV. And we're going to go travel around Nevada. We're going to go to Beatty, Nevada. There's a train ride you can take up there. In Ely, Nevada, there's a train museum. We're going to go to the back gate of Area 51, see if we can see any UFOs. We're going to say hi to the camo dudes in Area 51. Hey guys, how are you? What's going on? We're going to go eat a hamburger at the Little Alien in Rachel, Nevada. We're going to go travel around Las Vegas. We're going to explore Pahrump. We're going to explore Nevada. We're going to check it out. We are not leaving America. Not till Karina's an American citizen. Let me see here. Marcos, don't travel on advanced parole. Don't do it. Denise Jefferson. Look at that super chat. Denise, guys, we appreciate you doing that. You don't have to, but we appreciate it when you do. Denise Jefferson gets the Mountain Dew, the Diet Mountain Dew salute now. I got to drink Diet Mountain Dew now. Karina won't let me drink the sugary one. And I think that's a good thing. So I listen to my wife, okay?
Yes.
Denise Jefferson, as per Diego and Karina, take your time and do this right. The mistakes cost you more time in the process. Denise, you are absolutely correct. A good post, Denise. That's exactly correct. And Brielle Alvarez, thanks, no problem. Kinza saying, how much in total do we pay? You don't write 3 checks, Kinza Zane. You write 1 check for everything. Whatever it is you're buying from immigration, you write 1 check. Denise Jefferson, thanks, Diego. Either way, my husband has been directed to only take information from your videos. It's going to save you headaches going forward, trying to avoid all these kinds of unnecessary mistakes. It's just a little boo-boo, Denise. It's just a little boo-boo. Your husband wanted to do it, right? He wanted to process his green card. I can understand his mindset. But when you get in a hurry, if you get in a hurry, things kind of go wrong sometimes, and we have to fix it. It just costs you time. Time is of the essence. Now, if immigration send back the paperwork, Denise, because of the incorrect amount for the check, your husband's still good. He's still in status. Nothing's going to affect his green card application. You just got to resubmit it. It just adds time to your process. That's all. It's not going to block him from getting his green card. His green card will be fine. It just slows down the process. But thanks, Denise. Thanks for that super chat. We appreciate you. We really do. And I made sure I had plenty of Mountain Dew with me today. Let me see. Yeah, Denise, guys, just take your time with this process. Don't be in a big rush. Kansas saying, I mean, for his shots will expire in June. His medical exam will expire in June. Shots don't expire. Vaccinations never expire. They're good for life. I had my mumps. I didn't have a mumps vaccination. I think my mom found out that the neighbor's kid had mumps, and she took me over to his house, and then I caught mumps from him, And then I had mumps for about 2 weeks, and then I became immune to mumps. Back in the day, that's how we did things. You know, we didn't go for vaccinations. When the kid down the street had measles, my mom was dragging me down the street, and I got to hang out with him for the day. Then I caught measles, and then I was immune to measles. We didn't get these vaccinations that was back in the 60s. Now you get vaccinations for everything, and they're good for life. I mean, you get your booster shots, you know, but your vaccinations aren't going to expire. But your medical exam will expire. Brielle Alvarez, hey Denise, I sent 2 cashier's checks, one for the green card application, one for the employment, all in one package. I got both receipt notices and all was good. There you go. The same case for you. Okay, Brielle just answered the question. Okay. She did it separately. Brielle said she did it separately. Remember, this is a new process for you guys and for immigration. There was a couple, they sent in a request for a work permit and for a green card application, and they did it on separate checks. Immigration sent everything back, but it was dated April 1st. Okay. So that I think the immigration officer was confused, and that's what happened there. All right. So I think, Denise, I think you're going to be okay. I honestly believe you're going to be okay. Brielle said she sent in 2 cashier's checks, one for the green card, one for the employment authorization, put them in one package, got both receipt notices, all was good. So we all hope so, right? We all hope so. Let's see what happens. All we can do is wait and see. I think, Denise, I think you're going to be okay. I really think you're going to be okay. But don't be surprised if immigration send it back because they want to see one check. Okay, but let's see what happens. It's all new. It only started April 1st. So we're now on May 11th of 2024. Marcus Rocha, honeymoon. No, don't leave the country, Marcus. Copy that. I copy that. We want to go. We want to do the cruise. Did Las Vegas with my first marriage. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, there you go. But Marcus, here's the deal. If you want to go on a cruise with your wife, you wait till you get the green card so you don't get hassled by immigration. The Border Patrol looked for any freaking reason to block somebody from coming in, okay, legally. Illegal immigration, I don't know. If you want to come in the country illegally, all you got to do is show up at the Mexican border and they'll let you in, okay, as of May 11th, 2024. But we have an election November 5th, 2024, and then on January 2024, we get a new president. All that's going to change. Just my opinion. You know, you guys spend all this time and all this money coming here legally, getting your medical exam done, getting your police certificates, going to an interview, going through a background check. You do it by the book. You're following congressional law. And then you got people just wandering in from whatever country we don't know. And the Border Patrol is letting them in. Oh, come on, here you go. Here's your free pass. I don't like that. Let's see here. If you're an asylum seeker, apply for asylum the right way, which is at the consulate in the country where you live, not at the border with Mexico. Medical exam. What does expiration? What does that mean? It means that when you apply for a green card, you got to have a new medical exam, a new 693. If they gave you one in your home, the country where you used to live, it's only good for 6 months. You got to put a medical exam in with your green card application, or you're going to get an RFE looking for the medical exam and the vaccinations. The vaccinations don't expire. Ross Lee, what about Hawaii? Hawaii, the 50th state in the union. Hawaii 5-0 was a police show they used to make. It was a TV series that used to show once a week at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Hawaii 5-0, the 50th state. It's an island that's volcanic, and it's moving north very slowly, very slowly. All the Hawaiian islands are moving like this, okay? In a million years from now, they're going to bump into Canada. But you can go to Hawaii for your honeymoon if you want. Hawaii is part of America. Abdul Wahab Kanu. Hi, Diego. I sent my adjustment of status since March 30th, but no receipt notice. It's been a month and a week now. Did you send it FedEx, UPS, DHL? How did you send your green card application to where did it go? Did it go to Elgin, Illinois? Did it go to Chicago, Illinois? Did it go to Phoenix, Arizona? Where did it go? Where did you send your green card application? Did you include a form G1145 so they will text you when they receive it? And did you send it by courier? And did the courier service send you a message saying that the immigration has accepted your package? Ted, that's the colonel. We haven't heard from the colonel in like forever. I thought you got deployed somewhere. Hey, Diego, colonel here, taking things to the last minute, waiting at day 82. Dude, colonel, that's not good. Just to let you know, they are expecting third COVID for a green card. There's no, I don't see anything that says you got to have a third COVID for a green card. Where does it say that? You're on day 82. Okay. If you don't get married in the next 7 days, your wife or your fiance is going to get deported. You got a week to get married. So, colonel, I mean, if you like living, what are you, Austin Powers, living dangerously or what? What's going on here, Ted? Come on, colonel. By tomorrow, you better be married. I'm serious. Immigration don't like to see that. And thanks for the information about the third COVID, but I don't see anywhere where it says you got to have a third COVID test. Was this Biden? Did President Biden just come out with this new rule? His CDC? While completing the I-693, they require the third COVID. Did the doctor tell you that? You don't fill out the I-693, the doctor does. And there's no requirement for a third COVID. It's not required. The civil surgeon will complete the I-693, not you. And the civil surgeon will determine whether it's required or not. No, wait, we will be married on day 82, which is June 1st. Oh, gotcha. Day 82 is June 1st. Well, you like living dangerously. I'm going to start calling you Austin Powers. Okay, Colonel Austin Powers, living on the edge. And the civil surgeon makes the decision on whether there's a third COVID required or not. Okay, not you. Okay, Karina didn't fill out her 693. The doctor did. The doctor said it's good. He said he's good. He signed off on it. End of story. Francois Livingston, don't forget the waiting and the waiting and the waiting. That's correct. So, Colonel Ted, you are living a fine line with immigration. RG Sporting, exactly, same here. We're suffering to do things right for someone to disregard all these steps and policies and cut the line, walking in illegally at the southern border, immigration contradictions. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. So whoever the next president is in January, okay, now I don't know who it's going to be. I mean, it could be Trump. Who knows? It could be Biden. Although I don't think it's very likely President Biden's going to get reelected. I mean, our economy is totally in the toilet right now. Inflation's at 30% when it was 1.7% under Trump. So I don't know what's going to happen, okay? But I do know one thing's going to happen. Biden's not going to be president. And whoever the president is in January of 2025, that person is going to start deporting people like you wouldn't believe. Just my opinion. You don't come into this country illegally. If I was to sneak into Colombia illegally, they would throw me in jail for 30 days and fine me $2,000. If I was to sneak into Mexico illegally, they'd put me in jail for 6 months and fine me $5,000, approximately. Mexico, Colombia, every country in the world has a border. Every country in the world has an immigration process. Okay? Every country in the world has an immigration process. Except the United States. If you're illegal, there's no immigration process. If you just go to the border, walk in. Oh, I want to claim asylum. Okay, we'll give you a court date in 2027. What is up with that? Here I waited 22 months to bring Karina here legally. We went through medical exams, police checks, Interpol, investigations, everything. Did it by the book, paid the fees. And then and Karina's like watching all these, she's like, what's going on? How can they just walk in here? Why? Because the president of the United States isn't letting them do it. The president's responsibility in America is to secure the borders. That's his job. That's his day job. Anyway, that's what it is. What it is. Ted, Colonel, while completing the I-693, they require the COVID. No, the civil surgeons say that. Ross Lee, Diego, is it necessary to do an employment authorization application if we are in the adjustment of status process? Don't do it. Save your money. Put the money in the bank and wait for the green card. You don't have to do it. Ted, Colonel, yes, the doctor did tell us he is the civil surgeon. He said this is new as of literally 3 weeks ago. Well, President Biden called the Center for Disease Control 3 weeks ago and said, CDC, people coming to this country legally now have to have a third COVID test. Biden controls this, guys, through the CDC. We get a new president in January. I guarantee you won't need a COVID test to get a freaking green card. Just my opinion. I'm not a doctor, but I'm just predicting the future like Nostradamus. Let me see. Colonel, so the doctor told you, okay. I love your option. Yes, we need change here like no other. I am on board with you on that. I'm used to paying $1.90, $2.10 for a gallon of gas, not $4.50, $4 for a gallon of gas. I don't like being told you're going to have to buy an electric car in 2030. When the government says that to me, I tell the government to kiss my backside. I'll buy whatever I want. I'm an American. I choose the car I want. The government doesn't tell me what kind of car I want to buy. Okay? I choose. I don't want an electric car. California can't even keep lights on half the time because of blackouts, and yet they're making everybody buy electric cars in 2030. So everybody's on electric cars, and then the power goes out. How are they going to charge their cars? What if you need to get to the hospital and your car doesn't turn on because you got no freaking power to your house? Anyway, new president in January, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're going to have a new president. And it's nothing personal against President Biden. I'm sure he's a good guy. But his policies are destroying this country. My opinion. Yaha Conte. Hi, Diego. What's going on? Yaha. How's everything in your neck of the woods? Kinza Zane. My dad applied for my brother 10 years ago. Good. He was approved. But the problem is my dad died just recently. What should I do? Let my mom continue his petition. Now, that's an interesting question. Now, I'm good. I know how to do K-1s and green cards and spousal visas. But now this would be a question for a competent immigration attorney. Now, you're not going to hear me say this very often, but when a sponsor dies, normally when a sponsor dies, the visa process gets terminated if the person hasn't entered the United States. So your dad applied for your brother 10 years ago. He got approved. Is he in the United States? And I'm sorry that your father passed away. My condolences to you and your family. I don't like to hear stuff like that. But here's the deal. Let me answer your question. He's not in the United States. Then the visa is going to be closed out. Somebody else is going to have to apply. You need to speak to an immigration attorney who is competent, that knows how to read and write, okay? And get an immigration attorney on it right away. Okay? That's what you need to do. This is the only time you're going to probably ever hear me say that on this channel, because you don't need an immigration attorney for a K-1 visa or a green card application or a spousal visa. But in a situation like this, you're going to need one. Okay, because I got a feeling from what I know about immigration is if the sponsor dies and the person hasn't entered the United States yet, the visa gets terminated. Kinza Zane, can we see Tokyo? You said they want to see Tokyo. Karina, they want to see Tokyo. I asked Karina, go find Tokyo, our cat. Everybody wants to see Tokyo, right? You want to see Tokyo? He's in the house somewhere. He's probably hiding because it's hot here in Florida. Let me see here. Kansas Zane, you got to get an immigration attorney on your case, okay? Here's Tokyo. There you go. Sorry about your dad passing away. I'm really, truly sorry. I don't like to hear that stuff. Kansas Zane, here's Tokyo. Okay? Ted, the Colonel, this will be the most important election in November ever in the history of this country. The United States of America, I'm not going to get political here because I don't care for Republicans and I don't care for Democrats. They're both equally complicit in hurting this country. Okay? The Speaker of the House, okay, needs to go. The Republican House Speaker, he needs to go. He is funding all kinds of bad things. The Republicans control the Congress right now, and they're doing very bad things to our economy and to our country. Okay? He's got to go. But in November, we have an election. It will determine, that election in November will determine whether the United States is a socialist country or a free market republic, capitalist. I'm serious. I'm a capitalist. I'm a conservative. I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. Karina's not Republican. She's not Democrat. She can't vote because she's not an American citizen. But we're capitalists. We want to, when you make money in America, you create jobs for other people. And when the seas rise, the boats rise with everybody. Biden's destroying this economy. Let me see. Kansas Zane, you got to get an immigration attorney on your case, okay? Just schedule a consultation for now. A consultation, nothing else. We have 5 cats. Kansas Zane. Cinco gatos en casa. We got 1. Okay, that's enough. S-Bay, greetings, Diego and Karina. Who you say third COVID? Is this indicating a booster? I'm not a civil surgeon, but our friend the Colonel said effective 3 weeks ago, you got to have a third COVID test for the medical exam. Okay, so I trust the Colonel's word. I mean, he's a colonel, and his word is good. So you need to get the booster now, apparently. So Kansas saying immigration attorney costs a lot of money. How about we don't let the immigration know? No, well, they're going to find out because your father has to sign the paperwork when he gets to America, right? I mean, you could do that. I mean, if you could bring him to America, okay, he got approved, everything's good. Bring him to America, but then your dad is going to have to sign the paperwork. You know, so what I would do is bring him to America, and then beg forgiveness from immigration. I don't think they'll deport him. They won't deport him. They won't, but they're going to want to see the death certificate of your dad, and then they're going to match it to the date that your brother came to America. There's all kinds of stuff they're going to look at. But I would say if you bring him to the United States, I think immigration will give you a benefit of the doubt. And if you say I didn't know, right? We want to see your family reunited. Ted, the Colonel, have a great night. Thanks for all you do. And yes, I want to believe. Yeah. We're not alone in the universe, guys. Man, you know how big the universe is? And this is just one universe in millions and billions and trillions. We're one universe. There's more than one universe. Kansas saying there's a lot of violence there. Bring him to America, get your brother here, and then beg forgiveness from immigration, okay, when he gets here. Jen, hi, Diego. Hope you and Karina are well. Sorry for the late arrival to the live stream. No, you're not late. Nobody's late to the channel. It's whenever you feel like getting on here. Kansas Zane, bring your brother to America. When he gets here, beg forgiveness from immigration, and it's going to take at least 3 years to do what? Kansas Zane, take 3 years to do what? To bring him to America? I thought he got approved. Jen, I am in the process of the green card. Do I include the affidavit of support I-864? Yes, you do. If you don't, you ain't going to get a green card. When you file for your green card, okay, guess what? You're going to include in their form. I'm going to tell you the affidavit of support, the I-864. Okay. You're going to include the 485, the application for permanent residency. You're going to include the 693, which is the medical exam in a sealed envelope. You're going to include your marriage certificate. You're going to include all the evidence that you guys live together, etc., etc., etc. Let me see. Jen, I'm in the process of green card. Do I include affidavit of support? Yes, you do. If you don't, you ain't going to get a green card. Kinza Zane for him to come because they transferred him to F3, whatever that is. It says under section 213A. Is that right? Jen, you include the I-864 with your green card application. If you don't, you are not going to get your green card. Kinza Zane, he is waiting for his date to become current. Kinza Zane, you're going to have, if he's going to have to wait, what? How much longer does he have to wait? 3 more years? And your dad passed away? It's not happening. You got to get a new sponsor. Your mom has to do it. Jen, perfect tracking those forms. Thank you, Diego, for the confirmation. And I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm going to go and chill out with Karina. We're going to relax. And let me see. What did you do for payment? I wrote a check for $1,440. Well, actually, it was less than that because I applied for Karina. Karina applied for her green card, but she paid for on her credit card on February 29th, 2023. So it was less money. It went up in price. 2024, excuse me. It went up in price. So I wrote a check, Jen. Kinza Zane, I sent the letter to the embassy letting them know my dad is in the ICU. Have a good night, Jen. Andre Walconi, Diego, if after I start the green card application for my fiance, I get orders to be stationed overseas, is it going to be a problem? No. You're in the military. You get a waiver. Immigration will allow you to do that. You can get married and still bring your fiance, your new wife overseas because you are United States military, and there will be a waiver for her to travel. Jen, thank you for all your help. I'll be sure to log in earlier whenever you can feel like it, guys. Chris and Emil, have a good day. Have a good day. Make sure you guys don't do any surgery before the medical exam. Good advice. And RG Sporting gets the last word. Thank you. Enjoy your evening. And Kinza Zane, he urgently needed to see my brother, but they never responded. Kinza Zane, your daddy went to heaven. Your brother's visa is terminated. You need to contact immigration and ask them to allow your mom to continue sponsorship. Ask immigration. Before you call an immigration attorney, call immigration and ask them if your mom can continue the sponsorship. Francois Livingston gets the last word. Good night. As always, great live chat. See you guys on Monday.